You've been told that critical thinking is the ultimate weapon, the secret to seeing through lies, solving problems, and arriving at truth. You've probably even taken pride in being a critical thinker. But here's the uncomfortable truth. What if critical thinking is not the invincible shield you've been promised? What if, even with the sharpest logic, you can still be completely, disastrously wrong? This is not just a theoretical idea. It's a reality that has shaped history, destroyed empires, and misled some of the greatest minds who ever lived. And today, it may be misleading you. So let's dismantle the myth of critical thinking and explore the blind spots, illusions, and hidden forces that logic alone cannot overcome. Part 1. The allure of pure logic. From the moment we enter school, we're told that logic and reason are our highest tools. Mathematics, debate, philosophy, every subject praises the ability to think critically, to weigh arguments, to analyze data. We admire figures like Sherlock Holmes, Spock from Star Trek, or even modern-day scientists who appear immune to bias, able to carve through confusion with razor-sharp analysis. And it feels good, doesn't it? To believe that by thinking harder, by applying rational principles, we can solve any problem. Logic feels clean, safe, unshakable. But here's the trap. The more we worship logic, the more we assume it cannot fail us. We begin to believe that a purely rational mind is infallible. History, however, tells a very different story. Part 2. The unseen influence of emotion. Let's start with the human mind itself. Every decision we make, even the most logical, passes through a filter we cannot see: emotion. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio studied patients with damage to the emotional centers of their brain. These individuals could analyze situations endlessly, weighing every logical detail. But when it came to actually making a decision, they were paralyzed. Without emotion, pure reason could not guide them. And on the flip side, when emotions run strong, anger, fear, even love, they quietly distort our reasoning. Confirmation bias is one of the clearest examples. We selectively accept facts that support what we already feel and dismiss the ones that threaten our beliefs. Even great scientists have fallen victim. Consider Lord Kelvin, the brilliant physicist who rejected the possibility of heavier-than-air flight. Why? Because he was so emotionally invested in his understanding of physics that he ignored the Wright brothers' evidence. Nietzsche once wrote, "There are no facts, only interpretations." He wasn't denying reality itself. He was warning that our perspectives, shaped by unconscious forces, always color what we call logic. So when you think you're being rational, chances are you're not. At least, not completely. Part 3. The social echo chamber effect. But emotion isn't the only hidden force. Society itself bends our reasoning. We like to think of ourselves as independent thinkers, but much of our critical thinking is molded by the groups we belong to. Look at the Salem witch trials. Educated judges and townspeople convinced themselves, logically, that their neighbors were witches. Or consider Nazi Germany, where millions of intelligent citizens rationalized horrific actions because they were immersed in a social and political echo chamber. Today, the same thing happens digitally. Algorithms feed us content we already agree with, amplifying our biases. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, they don't encourage open-mindedness. They reward conformity and outrage. When everyone around us believes the same thing, the cost of dissent becomes unbearable. Even the smartest minds will bend. Plato warned of this in the Republic. The crowd can overpower reason, dragging even philosophers into collective illusion. So the question is not, am I thinking critically? But rather, whose approval am I unconsciously seeking when I form my opinions? Part 4. The limits of information. Finally, even if you escape emotional bias and groupthink, there's a deeper limitation: information itself. Critical thinking only works with the data it has. But what if the data is incomplete, or worse, manipulated? Think of the Iraq War. World leaders and entire populations were swayed by evidence of weapons of mass destruction. The logic was airtight until the foundation crumbled and the truth came out. Today, with deepfakes, AI-generated news, and deliberate disinformation campaigns, it's becoming harder than ever to know what's real. Even the sharpest analysis can't protect you from lies that are engineered to be indistinguishable from truth. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who deceives will always find those willing to be deceived." That warning is more relevant now than ever. So what does all this mean? Should we abandon critical thinking? No, but we must humble it. Critical thinking is a tool, but it is not the whole toolbox. To navigate the world, we need awareness of emotion, courage to question the group, and skepticism toward the information we consume. Above all, we need wisdom, the ability to recognize that even our clearest reasoning might still be flawed. The philosopher Bonhoeffer once observed that stupidity is more dangerous than evil, because while evil can be exposed and fought, stupidity hides beneath false certainty, immune to reason. The danger is not that people don't think critically, it's that they think they already are. So, the next time you pride yourself on your rational mind, ask yourself, what am I not seeing? What invisible forces are shaping my certainty? Because perhaps the greatest wisdom is not in thinking you are right, but in knowing how easily you can be wrong.